Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. In the last episode, we made it back to the moon with buckets of science. In this episode, I did a bit of science off screen. I got a mission to test the Rocketmax mainsail engine, and I figured it was the perfect opportunity for me to put a bunch of barometers and thermometers on a probe and just send it across Kerbin. Fortunately, I forgot to add a backup battery, and I launched during the nighttime, so I had to launch immediately, otherwise the probe was going to run out of power. So, yeah, I didn't get nearly as much science as I could have done, but I did get some science done, enough for me to unlock another tech, and I'm going to be going with specialized control for Mark II command pod and the lander cam. Now, the RCS pod is kind of nice. Large inline reaction wheel is pretty damn good. SAS halves are pretty cool because they allow you to use SAS when you don't have strictly a pilot on board. That's great. The Mark II command pod. The linear RCS ports are really good for like bigger space planes as well. Extra large parachute is typically for the Mark II command pod, but you can use it for other things. Werner engines are basically different types of RCS. They're a lot more powerful than the RCS pods, and they actually use less fuel per second. But these things require liquid fuel and oxidizer instead. So, they're more powerful than monopropellant, but, you know, yeah. You also have new monopropellant tanks and all that, and I've never once used the grabbing unit from the actuators. I was thinking about specialized construction because it gets me stuff from a Kerbal attachment system, as well as new decouplers and adapters, as well as the hitchhiker storage container as well. That's actually pretty useful, and our first docking ports with the modular girder adapters. That's pretty cool. And precision engineering allows you to get probe parts, which is also really cool, but I'm going to go with specialized control because I want to be able to get more Kerbals out there. It also unlocks nuclear propulsion for when I want to get it, as well as large control, which gives me the escape system, which is not really that good, and the Mark II lander can, as well as the massive RCS tank. So, anyway, I have yet to actually try to fine-tune my spaceship design with the landing parts that I got. So let's just go ahead in here. Not space part, my airplane part thing. But I've went ahead and named it the Swift X. The Swift is actually a type of coast bird. I can't remember where it's from, but they're known for their high speed and large wingspan. Now, if you'll remember, this is the only one I've tried out so far that was actually stable. So this is the one I'm going to be utilizing. And because we now have landing gear, we can actually press S to rotate it and grab the landing gear. I don't know why I'm suddenly unable to move my mouse. It's kind of weird. But where is it? There we are. Gear Bay. And we're going to use tricycle style landing gear. And if I could grab it again, I should have just used Alt and then splay it out slightly. Now this won't fly. You want to know why? The air is going to go over this and then get caught in here. So what you want to do is you want to set these directly underneath the wing to make a fulcrum. And that's not directly underneath the wing, which is a damn pain. Also, these are going to alter your center of mass, so you actually want to move your wings back a little bit. There we go. A little bit. It's also because this is here. Now, I did not know how control surfaces worked. You're really supposed to place them along the edges of your wings like this. Are they on the other side too? Yep, okay. And now because of that, I can move these wings a little bit further back. That should be good. I'm not convinced that the landing gear is in a good spot, but we're going to try it anyway. And depending on how well this goes, if I could please... There we are. That should allow me to actually be able to... That's one thing I've been having a lot of trouble in here with, is just trying to get this to work properly. There we are. Do I even have a Communitron on here? It's hard to tell, but I do want one. The only thing about the Communitron is that it's not exactly aerodynamic, so you gotta put it in a place where the airstream is gonna pass it. And where I put it is not at all aerodynamic. And now these indicators are in the way. There we are. I want to place it like on the back there. That's actually a good spot for it. Now I want to put a barometer on here. A pair of them. That should be good. Set them to an action group so I don't have to click on them. Log pressure data, okay. Alright, and yep, engine will go, then defire, okay. Let's go ahead and save this and try to launch it. Now, I have not successfully launched airplane on a runway yet. I've always had to use some sort of assistance to get it airborne. But as you can tell from the way I've placed the landing gear, it's actually kind of got a natural lift going. And that should help me get off the runway. Alright, no capsule torque, SAS enabled. We have Jebediah testing this out. Start out slow. Oh, losing control. Oh, jeez, that was a simulation. Okay, so just ran into the problem that I always have, and I wind up going from one side to the other and then losing control. So, I want to use a dihedral effect here by lifting the wings up 15 degrees or so. A dihedral effect basically means you lift your wings up a little bit, and it provides more stability, in theory. The only problem with that is it changes your center of lift a little bit. Trying to... No. Which... Nope. Nope. Alright, let's try it like that. Go ahead and save it. Remember, that was a simulation. Jebediah didn't actually die. I tried saving him. Didn't work. Alright, so note to self. Make sure you are on low throttle. Alright, so this should add some stability. The control surfaces, I'm going to just hold straight down. SAS. Now we throttle up a little bit. So the only way this thing should want to go is up. Nope. Well, let's say we do some science out. I did not set... Oh yeah, the barometers were on the tail. Well, that was great. Do an EVA report, why don't you? Yeah. It's gonna take me a while to figure all that out, but I think I'm done messing around with space planes for now, and I think I actually want to do something halfway useful. So, I took a bunch of missions to get stuff from Mnos. I also got this science around these. And I do want to send a few Kerbals to Mnos, because that just seems like something I should do. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use the Mark II command pod or not, but I do know I'm going to add a lander can to it, because I want more than one Kerbal in here. What the hell? I completely forgot there was aircraft debris there. But yeah, I'm going to use a lander can in the design, because there's no re-entry effects yet. I just need to make sure to add a couple extra parachutes to it, and it should survive atmospheric re-entry. So I'll see you guys when the rocket's complete. Okay, guys, what I have here is my Mnos lander. Atrocious, isn't it? But hear me out. So basically what this is, it's a large Rockamax fuel tank that has a lot of fuel, as well as two small fuel tanks for fuel transfer once I land. Basically, these things are coming with me the entire way. They also have high volume lights on there, only 3 of them, and a bunch of smaller lights around the edge. And a Poodle engine. The Poodle engine is very good in a vacuum, as you will be able to tell. Let me go to Kerbin. There we are. See, this Poodle engine already is enough to be able to lift all of this with a 1.38 ratio for 1:36 seconds. But in a vacuum, it has a lot of delta V. That is enough to land on Mnos, take off from Mnos, and get away from Mnos. Now, if I take off this decoupler, as you can see, I've also got a very small Rockamax 4875 engine with a small fuel tank, some monopropellant, and all that. This is designed as the emergency stage, basically. If I need another 57 seconds of thrust in order to get to Kerbin, well, this is what's going to be used. This is something that I think not enough people do in their designs, is they don't build redundancies, basically. What a redundancy is, it's something to take over if something else fails. So, you need for example, if this can't get you onto Mnos, land on Mnos, and get you away from Mnos and on a return trajectory, you need a redundancy, otherwise you're lost in space, right? So you build a redundancy, and it's not a very heavy redundancy. It's got the small monopropellant tanks, 3 of them, 4 thrusters, a stabilizer, the lander can, which is light, some batteries, a ladder, 2 solar panels, a bunch of barometers, thermometers, a comms dish on top there, 3 parachutes, which should be more enough to land the lander can, because you got another decoupler there, a ladder that leads down to the adapter, and then a ladder that leads down off, and in Mnos' low gravity. That's easy. As a matter of fact, I could probably land this thing on Eve, although that would be a pretty dumb idea, honestly, just in terms of ladderage, obviously. And then it's got a whole crap ton of landing legs, and this time I put the Science Juniors on hydraulic detachment manifold, so that way I'll be able to detach them when I don't need them and drop the excess weight. Something I didn't do on the Mun, which could have actually helped me a great deal, but I didn't do it. I mean, these things aren't very heavy to begin with, but any hoozle, I'm going to go ahead and build the rocket to get this to Mnos, and I will see you guys on the launch pad. And welcome to the rocket that will take us to the Mun. I'm using 4 Rockamax main-sail engines with SP4 LFT and SP1 LFT fuel tank. And same thing here, it's got some monopropellant, some engine-swept wings. Something I unlocked with the latest aerodynamic update is solid rocket booster nose cones. These will push these things down away. Very useful. So yeah, this is just the, it's all strutted up as well. It's got these Mark 1 RCS pods. And I gotta be more careful with my RCS because I've done several test runs using this same configuration for the most part, and I've run out of RCS propellant. So anyway, Bob and Jeb, they really want to get going, and Bob has by far the better view. Take a look at that. Junk Systems Inc. Advanced flight instruments for every conceivable occasion. I love these things. If I was able to run this at a slightly higher resolution, you'd be able to actually read the text everywhere. Like, for example, the text on that note. Don't forget about something. I can't read that because resolution is too low. Fantastic. And unfortunately, Jeb has the pilot's view of sky, which is just great for him. I'm going to go ahead and set our target now. Kablammy, set the target. Are you ready, Jebediah? I did not mean to hit the time warp button. There we are. Maximize the throttle. SAS is on. I will not turn on RCS. I have to save some of that. And are we ready? No, because we don't have Mech Jeb yet. Now we're ready. Let's go. The only thing you have to worry about with the mainsail engines is they have a tendency to overheat. The reason why I'm using these KW rocketry runs instead of the Rockamax jumbo tanks, the jumbo tanks have a little bit more fuel and they've got a better fuel to weight ratio. It's just that they have a lower heat tolerance, so your engines are overheat a little bit faster. As you can tell, these things are already on the verge of overheating, which is mildly irritating. Now, I think you follow this little purple marker thingy to be able to get into the right orbit. God, you gotta be careful because I've got 2 stabilizers here, and the competing torque can be annoying, so I'm gonna disable the torque on that one. And, oh, the throttle's automatically crap. Oh! Well, this is a failed launch. Ah! I wonder, will that... There we go. Well, that did not end well. Go ahead and fire those off. What can Bob see in here? Oh, geez, Bob. I was all the way zoomed in, apparently. Yeah, he doesn't have... He has a view of the mountains. It's pretty good. Meanwhile, Jebediah here, he just sees sky, and he can see bits and pieces of the ship flying above him. Well, I accidentally staged, which is a very bad thing. You don't accidentally stage. Might as well get rid of those. We don't need those. Oh, we can switch away from target. I did not mean to even touch target. Whoa, look at that. It going to fall now. And once it's about 3 kilometers away, it will impact the ground. Maybe about 2.8. Couldn't tell. It's gone. Doesn't matter. Jesus, look at all that debris below us. We are going to land amongst a bunch of wreckage. That's one thing I do wish was in the game, is that the stuff didn't disappear when it exploded, that some wreckage would be left behind. Well, I think we're gonna try that launch again. You know what we should do? We should do science. It's not useful at all. Atmospheric, all of this stuff will not work. Well, there's still some debris we can actually get. I normally would have just reverted to flight, but I figured it'd be fun to show the fireworks. Might want to move those parachutes out. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, geez. That one... These are all exploding as I'm getting close to them. That's not cool. Yay, we're out. Bob, get out of there. Ugh. This thing is a death trap, you know. Can I take surface samples? Oh, I can. Thank you. I shall EVA report as well. Come on, get in there. Grab it. There you go. Can I store experiments in here? Yes, I can. And then take another EVA report, which I've already done. Pew! Might as well get a little bit of science out of this failed launch. We're just going to try this again. And this time I'll just meet you in orbit, because I know this thing can definitely get into orbit. It's just a matter of whether or not I die or not. So, I will record it, but I'm probably not going to commentate over it. Jeb! No! Jebediah! Okay. Catastrophic failure. God damn it, Skype. Someone called me on Skype and I wasn't paying attention and my rockets exploded. Oh, and apparently those aren't staged correctly, so that's good to know. They're also not detaching correctly. Why are they not detaching correctly? What are they stuck on? Are they stuck on the landing gear? Apparently not, they're just... Oh, the hydraulic detachment manifold's stuck on the landing gear. Well, that warrants a bit of a redesign. I wonder if I will ever be able to get this thing off the launch pad. Oh, break off these solar panels because I can. We are doing a dance. Oh god, I am never gonna get this done, am I? Apparently not. Let me turn on RCS just for funsies. Yay, we are spinning like a friggin' top. I'm surprised the G-force isn't killing these guys. I wonder what the view's like. Oh my god. No. What does Jeb see? He just sees instruments going everywhere. I was so goddamn close to orbit and they had to destroy themselves. Blah. Bye! Look at that thing. Whoa! Oh, good thing I jettisoned, right? Oh. Well. See you guys back on the launch pad again.